What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Tressa's Collectibles channel. I am Randall, aka Shizukatz.
Mike here.
And today we're going to be bringing you the first gameplay video for That Time I Got Reincarnated as a Slime Volume 3. So, I'm going to be featuring a deck that we recently showed off in our deck profile, being one of the most popular builds for this set, being the Shizu level 1 into Mjurran level 2 build. And so, this is going to be a double advantage combo, going from the Shizu at level 1, that will allow us to get some deck speed, into the Mjurran, which will allow us to hyper compress into our future decks. And so we don't have a finisher combo in this particular list, but we will be utilizing a suite of very powerful non-climax combo finisher options, such as the level 3 Shion, Benimaru, and the Milim Clock Kick from the first set. Alright, so what are we going to be playing against today?
On my end, since that particular list and a lot of other Slime 3 lists, one of the standouts is the double back row package of that level 0 Mjurran Brainstorm and level 2 Shuna, which gives all of our characters 2000 and global hexproof, the only exception being the level 2 Shuna herself. For the Escanor deck, the common strategy at level 3 is to have copies of the level 3 Merlin to balance our characters so that our level 3 Escanor can get those safe and juicy direct attack lanes for extra damage and with no fear of getting hard removed by something like a Mimic counter. However, that deck does have the ability to make its front row hexproof, and if Randall has the foresight to put down 2 of those Shunas alongside the Brainstorm, that his entire board can actually be hexproof, therefore completely nullifying the Merlin's ability to bounce. So we're going to see if we can showcase that off today. The build I'm going to be playing is a 5-3 line for StockSoul for the level 0 Elizabeth, 3 choice for the level 3 Escanor, and then we do run 1 extra empty StockSoul just for an additional 2 soul trigger. We do not play the 2-1 Meliodas in this particular list. Currently, the meta is pretty anti-Meliodas with the likes of the 2-1 Alice build running around that has access to a level 1 memory counter. So it's a bit difficult to resolve Meliodas at this time. So we're just going to be spamming a bunch of Elizabeth climaxes and hopefully pushing Randall to the point where he doesn't have the time to set up before we can get off our Escanor combo.
Now, one thing that has been floating around for SCS recently, at least within our local circle, is running 2 soul instead of empty StockSoul. Do you have any quick thought on that?
I think it's fine. I think it's perfectly fine. A nice and timely 2 soul can definitely steal the game, especially during first deck rotation. I just want to keep this a bit more traditional, though, like a bit more, on curve, but you definitely do have the option of playing something like the Trial Deck 2 soul from SDS. It's green, and you do obviously play green in this deck. In the post-ban list build, you do have a pretty heavy emphasis on having green earlier too, because you do run the level 2 DM killers at level 1. Especially pertinent since Alice is out, and especially more so now that Mjurran is out.
Yep.
Mjurran sits at a chonky 12-5, assuming Randall has the double back row. So this build tries to run a couple of front 500 or global 500 supports, alongside Diane's ability to get to 12k on play to match that 12-5.
Alright.
I'm excited to see how this goes. There's a lot of ways that both of us can prepare for something that the other player can offer as a threat. Thankfully, one of the kind of differences between Alice and Mjurran is that Mjurran only comes down to level 2, so that gives me a bit more time to prepare for my counter to Mjurran. Alright, so I'll be going second, Randall's first.
Alright, I'm going to be discarding 3 here. I'm going to be getting rid of this Mjurran Climax early. We are running 8 pants, so we do have chances to get it back later.
And 3 on my side as well.
Alright.
Alrighty.
Alright, let's draw for turn. First card I'm going to be clocking is the level 1 Rimuru Bonder. Ideally, I would like to not have to level that, because we do only run 1. We will probably want that for later in the game, so hopefully we can get some other blue that we can send to our level zone to activate our future blue cards. We're going to start with the level 0 Milim Chaser, so 3500 as long as all my characters are Demon Continent, so she's just always chonky 3-5. And thinking about positioning, so you just have like Gilfunder Chaser, so I'm not too worried that you could just crash me, or if you have like Hauser helmet, you could just beat over me anyway. So we'll just go ahead and direct for 2.
Okay, 1, 2, cancel 1, 2. Draw for turn. Alright, let's clock one of our level 1 DNs, draw 2. Alright, so unfortunately we don't have an answer for the Milim. That 35 Chaser is as annoying as ever. One of the cool things about that Chaser is that it really slows down the tempo of the game. Discourages me from going all out and tri-laning. If I had one character that could answer the Milim, if I play multiple characters, then he can just run away. That being said, none of my characters can deal with Milim, so I'm just going to pretend that card doesn't exist. We'll start with the level 0 Elaine. 2 on-play effects, on-play, reveal top. Ooh, level 0 Escanor. Pretty good card. Add that to hand, discard a card. We'll discard a level 1 Meliodas. Second effect, I will pitch another copy of 1/0 Dian to draw a card. Alright. So something I am a bit scared of is his level 0 Hakuro denying my Escanors their on-death effects. So if I overextend here and he has Hakuro to answer my Escanor, I could potentially be in a lot of trouble. However, it's not something that I can play around forever, and I will want to kind of just start attacking. What I could do is I could play both of my Escanors and move the Elaine to the back row. That way, one of the Escanors can just crash into the Milim, so I can get that potential +2 on my turn. If I tri-lane with the Elaine and double Escanor, he can just run to the Elaine slot, and then next turn he can Hakuro my Escanors. So this is kind of a risky proposition, what line I want to go with. I think I'm going to go with the line that allows me to attack twice with Escanors. And I want to guarantee at least one of them going off. So we'll go with this. The Milim only has the ability to run to another slot that has a character, so this way I can guarantee a reverse on one of my Escanors. I'll go into attack here.
You're good.
And direct attack for 2. Hey! That's the card I was scared of. And, well, front, I am smaller. Choice. Let's choice to stock our 3/2 Deanne. Elizabeth. And that's for 1.
Take 1.
Alrighty. And Encore.
Yep.
1 sent to waiting room, pay 1. And I'll clock yellow. Let's just send in Meliodas here. Top check 2 and add up to 2 Britannia characters.
Nice.
And I'll end my turn.
I'll draw for a turn. I'm going to... Let's see. What will we clock here? I'm going to clock a level 1 Climax.
Ooh.
So that should be pretty telling. Unfortunately, we don't have Hakuro for the other one. So
nice.
Mike might be getting a nice fat +2 in a sec. I'm going to play another Milim. And I think we might just chill on that for our board.
Yeah, that looks good to me.
All right. Let's go with a front for 2.
1, 2. 2 is good.
And then another, or a direct now, for 2.
Okay, 1, 2. 2 is good.
And over to you. You can use your other Escanor if you want.
Yeah, we'll go ahead and do that. This allows me to rig my colors in a way that I can get both yellow and green guaranteed. And who doesn't like a potential +2? So we will pay 1. And we'll take the opportunity to just level green here. Get that out of the way.
And level yellow on your next
turn.
turn.
And I'll just clock yellow. Unfortunately, we only get 1, but no, 1's better than 0. And we did get that choice triggered, so we have that extra stock to work with. Alright, stand and draw. Alright, let's clock Nanashi. He's not particularly useful in this matchup, especially if Randall gets out the double back row. His front row will be untargetable. So we'll just leave it at that. Draw 2. Alright, so I should have Meliodas in my deck still, so let's start with that before we do anything else. On play, pitch the level 0 Elaine. Search my deck. 4-1-0 Meliodas. And this level 0 Elaine is kind of chilling, but unfortunately, if I want to attack with her, then that means one of the Millums will just get another +1, which is just really annoying. Makes me want to play a third beater. But I don't really necessarily want to do that, because if I play all my beaters now, and then he plays the level 1 Shizu combo to kill all my beaters, I won't necessarily be able to have easy answers to his level 1 combo the following turn. So I think I'm actually willing to just let one of the Millums live yet again, just so that I can answer his more important threats, like the level 1 combo later. Alrighty. Push this up. And unfortunately, we don't have the StockSoul. It's not the end of the world, since we did get a good amount of advantage off of the Escanor. I think I'm probably okay with just chilling for the time being. Alright, so let's just play a Brainstorm just to get a bit more power on the Meliodases. And just stick with that. And we'll play 1-1 to push damage.
Okay. And when you said you didn't have StockSoul, I was like, yes, he's not playing Climax. And he's like, he's still playing Climax.
Yeah. With 7 Deadly, we just want to try to push aggressively. Ready. So, your option?
Yep.
Yeah, I am still only 2-5 here. Alrighty, let's start with the Meliodas here. I want to have our bottom triggers be clean. So, on attack, I'll top check. And this is fine. We'll trigger for 3.
1, 2, 3. And we're going to level up here. So I'm going to want to... by the end of the game, we're going to want to level all 3 red, blue, and yellow. And so now we're going to start by, unfortunately, leveling blue. I think I'm actually going to be... I think I'm actually going to be okay with leveling a Shizu here. Our Brainstorm in this deck is not even a salvage Brainstorm, so if I do get a Brainstorm, I wouldn't even be able to get this if it was in the waiting room.
Right.
So I'm not too worried about leveling that one, I think, and then we'll have yellow incoming for our next color.
Alright, so there was an argument to maybe swing or trying to go for a non-trigger, since I did hit him to 1-1, which gives him a lot more information on what he needs to level, but at the same time, I don't want to... I think that was a pretty good card to trigger otherwise. We'll go here next with a side. Side for 3.
Please stop triggering. Oh no, Shizu.
Oh no,
look
at those climax combos.
Oh, no.
Alright, we feel pretty good about our situation now. Finally, direct attack, I will top check. You know what? That's not a climax. But is he really going to take this 4? We might as well. Trigger for 4.
Cancel.
Okay.
Alright.
Here we go.
Draw for turn. I'm going to clock a Millum Clock Kick. Draw 2. We need to get through our deck a bit here, so let's see. So we don't have the ability to get through the entire deck, but we can get through a decent chunk of it, I think. So I'm going to start by playing a Ricky. Pay 1, clock 1, search, and I'm going to grab... I'm going to grab the Shizu. Okay. And then I'm going to follow it up with a Brainstorm, now that we've taken a couple cards out of our deck. So let's see if we can hit here. If not, that does mean we still have Climaxes in our deck. We do hit one, though. So let's see what we can grab here off that. I'm going to grab the level 0 Millum. So this is actually a really good card in this spot, because it will allow me to mill through
even more
deck, and actually it will allow me to refresh before level 2.
One of those few times that Search Brainstorm is slightly better than the Salvage Brainstorm, because it does decrease the size of your deck.
Yeah.
Just slightly. And on first deck refresh, that is, every card can make the difference.
Yeah. The big reason that I have like such an aversion to Search Brainstorm is because if you get those low roll games where just like all of the climaxes are left in your deck, a Salvage Brainstorm would be able to like
get you out of that situation.
Yeah, you could like hit a Salvage Brainstorm and then salvage a bunch, but if you have like a deck of like a whole bunch of climaxes and you hit a Search Brainstorm, you look at your deck and it's just like it's more climaxes.
Exactly.
I will be using that level 0 Mjurran that we got. So she has two effects. The first one is on play, I can put a card from my hand to stock, and I'm deciding if I want to do that right now. I think I probably do. Yeah, I'm going to put a card from hand to stock, and then I'm going to use her other effect, which is an act, pay 1 and sack herself to look at up to 4, and add a character from among them to hand. So considering my deck size, so I want 1 card left, Shizu will mill 3, Shizu will mill 3, and then 1 attack. So I want to look through all 4 of these. So 4, and the card I'm going to grab here is Shuna Early Play.
Okay.
And then we're going to follow that up with our 2 copies of Shizu combo. These will be 7k power with the extra power from the Climax combo. And we'll be able to clear Mike's Meliodases. Do I care about putting the Rimuru in the front versus the Milim? Not really. I think the Milim is actually probably best still in the front because I feel like if you aren't able to get the Meliodases back, then Milim will just continue to give you a hard time.
There might be a world where that Milim just lives until level 3.
Alright, we'll go with our Climax combo. So the Climax combo is on attack, I mill 2, I add the levels of the 2 milled cards, and then I salvage. My goal is to mill 2. Or higher, because I want
that
Mjurran. I want Mjurran. So we're going to go here first. Mill 2. Also, there is 1 Mjurran left in my deck as well, so I could mill that. Okay.
Alright, there you go.
Alright, so I will salvage my Mjurran. And then this is going to be a swing for 2.
Okay, 1, 2. 2's good.
Alright, where do we want to go next? Those were both high level, so surely the next one's not a high level. So I will...
And 2-1 Mjurran.
I will front here. Well, it was a 2-1, but not the right one, so that's for 3.
2, 3, cancel.
Alright, and then for the last one, let's see if we can mill that Mjurran.
Pretty high chance.
There
you go.
Cool. So now we have 2 Mjurrans, and then this is going to be for 3.
So many high levels there. Alrighty. All my characters are reversed. And can I see your waiting room? We just want to confirm approximately what is in his hand. Obviously, we know that he doesn't have more than 2 Mjurran because he has 2 on the clock. Counter-wise, he has the guild and that. So he does have all of his counters out.
Yeah. The nice thing about that, though, is that when I utilize my Mjurran combo,
you'll just be able to search
I'll be able to search it, yeah.
And so yeah, we're going to assume that his hand is something like 2-1 Shuna. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Well, he definitely has one of the Mjurran climaxes as well. So he's nicely all set up for level 2. But, there's nothing we can really do about that outside of just try to prep for our level 2 killers at this point. So we're going to draw for turn.
Yeah, so what I feel is the goal here for the level 1 game, and like a big reason why I like the Shizu variation of this particular deck. Obviously, you can run Mjurran without Shizu, but the fact that Shizu gives you this amount of milling through the first deck, it puts you in this situation where after you refresh, you will have cards in your waiting room that you can then send to stock off of the Mjurran, because you don't want to be sending just like random stuff if you can. You want to be sending like low level stuff, stuff that you don't care about later. Being able to refresh here will give me the compression from the clock, and it'll also set up my waiting room, and the fact that I'm going to refresh now, I'll have a full deck of stuff that I can search off of my combo.
Exactly. Alright, we need to decide what we want to clock here. It's either going to be the level 0 Escanor, which currently is not very useful. It's probably just going to be discard fodder for level 3 from now on. So I think if we need it, we can always get him back. So we're going to clock that. Draw 2. Alright, did not get StockSoul. So this is my worst nightmare. That being said, we did double cancel, and we're going to have a pretty good refresh. So not all is bad here. 9 cards on deck. A potential line I could go for here is I could fetch my level 0 Elaine Brainstorm, and then Brainstorm to try to hit a StockSoul. I do have Elizabeth StockSoul still left in my deck as a one-off. I am currently 6 out, so I would need to hit the other climax and then top check into the Elaine climax. Alternatively, I could just regular brainstorm. There's a line where I could refresh here, and by refreshing that allows me to get a pair of Meliodas back to contest his Shizukatz. So I could play Elaine Brainstorm. If I whip the Elaine Brainstorm, I can Elizabeth Brainstorm, and I have 2 left in 5, so that's a pretty good scenario. If I hit the Elaine Brainstorm, then I have a good chance of finding a climax, which can lead into climax combo. So I think the Elaine Brainstorm is pretty good here, so I'll go for that line. That does mean, though, that the Shuna is probably living again.
But, the Millum?
Or the Millum, yeah. But,
it's fine, it's just a Millum.
A small price to pay. Honestly, I don't even care. You're going to have so many cards.
No, did you want to use...
Oh, wait.
Wait, no, that was...
Oh, wait, no, that was in my random. Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah.
I need to grab that.
Yeah.
So on play, we'll pitch Elaine for Elaine.
Oh, you can reveal the tops as well.
Oh, yeah.
Reveal the top, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Okay. And then we'll... Let's see. Yeah, we'll just go with this brainstorm. Sacking the Meliodas to mill 4. We whiff. This means I want to brainstorm with Elizabeth now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so let's go with that original plan. Brainstorm, hit 1. Alright.
So that puts you at 7 out?
Correct. What is the last climax? I think it's a choice. It's not what we want to draw.
I don't think it's a choice because... Oh, wait, no. Yeah.
We run 3
yeah,
choice,
yeah. 3 choice, yeah.
So if it was the other way around, I could actually just fetch one of my Elaines and then I could just draw the StockSoul. Unfortunately, that's a choice. Which is just really awkward, actually. Because we don't want to trigger it because it doesn't give us any value and then it's a poor refresh. If anything, I might even dare myself to just grab another Elaine and then just brainstorm again. Let's consider some other options. No matter what, I think we are going to refresh 7 with this configuration. You know what? I really want a climax. So we're going to go with an Elaine. And then we're going to brainstorm. Sacrificing the other Elaine. And back 7. So this way I do still refresh on this turn so that I can play the 1-0 Meliodas and contest the Shizukatz. And hopefully we can draw into a StockSoul.
And you already have a Meliodas in your hand? Okay.
Refresh point. Finish brainstorm. Alrighty, so hit 1, top check up to 3, add any card. Okay, so grab that and pitch these. Play the Meliodas, pitch Merlin to search for another copy.
Alright, is my Millum living?
Oh, heck yeah. We are really poor right now.
What's your hand size right now?
4.
Ooh.
We just do not have that StockSoul. We don't have it. At this point, I'm honestly considering attacking twice. This is a bit of a pickle.
It's kind of crazy that it went from double uncontested Escanor to here.
Yeah, I think that's what happens when I play a climax and then also like kind of minus through the Elaine without finding my climax combo.
Right.
You know, it is what it is. I am willing to play this climax though. So I'm willing to play one more card, but I'm not willing to play 2 more cards. I think with one more card, I can still recover.
It's either a third attack or you play a climax.
So it's a third attack or I play a climax. And I think I'm going to play a climax because that's +2 soul compared to if I play another attacker, which is only +1 soul, and I can't even contest the Milim. StockSoul.
That's the wrong StockSoul.
That is the wrong stock. Alright, put a yellow card. We're going to put this here.
Unlike the Elizabeth StockSoul, which stocks a level 1 or lower of any color, this one is a yellow card of any level.
Yeah. Alrighty, so let's try to get some damage in. We'll front, and I'll rig my trigger with the Meliodas effect. Top check. Alright, so that's front for 2.
Okay. So I'm refreshing, missing 1 Shizu Climax and 2 Mjurran Climaxes. And what was the trigger? Gil Thunder?
Level 0 Gil Thunder.
Okay. Alright, cut.
Go ahead.
Take refresh points. We want to level either yellow or red here. I think the plan is probably to level yellow and then clock red. So we'll go ahead and do that. When my Shizu gets reversed, reveal top. Since it is a Demon Continent character, she can go to memory.
Okay.
And then we just have red incoming.
Unless you cancel.
Unless I cancel. Yeah.
Front. Top check. Let's look at 2. Alright. We'll actually trigger this choice just so we can get some hand back. I'll grab an Escanor.
Okay. For 1, 2. I do cancel.
Alright, here we go.
And then when this is reversed, I'll reveal the top. It is a character. So we'll send this one to memory as well. So in this particular build, I'm not running any payoffs for having Shizus in memory, such as the Shizu early play. That is an option that you could run over, say, the Shuna early play, which I am running in this build. But yeah, free memory is always cool.
Yeah.
So we'll draw for turn, and I am going to clock red. So we'll clock the Benimaru level 3, draw 2. And then it's time to do some Mjurran things. So let's see. Yeah, we're gonna go with 2 Mjurrans for this turn. So this stands. So we'll play our 2 Mjurrans. While I have only Demon Continent, or while I have 2 or more other Demon Continent characters, these go up to 10-5. So very annoyingly large.
Yeah, don't let their base power fool you. They're basically always 10-5.
Yeah. We're going to play over the 2-1 Rimuru with the 2-1 Shuna, so now we have the back row set up. So normally Shuna is just a global 1k and Mjurran is just a Brainstorm, but while you have both of them on the board, the Mjurran is also global 1k and the Shuna also gives global hexproof to all other characters. So now the Milim that you already couldn't kill at 3-5 is going to be 5-5, and the Mjurrans are going to be 12-5.
And everything on his board is hexproof except the 2-1.
Yeah. Alright, so now we'll go into Climax phase. I will play the 1k1 Climax, activate the Climax combo of the Mjurrans. When I play the Climax, if she's in front row and I have a full board, 5 characters, I get to search my deck for a character added to hand, and then also stock a character from my waiting room. So with the first one, I'm going to add the Geld counter. I really like this counter in the Mjurran builds. You can pay 1 extra when you use it in order to get it back into your hand to defend multiple lanes. So the first one will be the Geld. And the second card I will grab is going to be the 1-0 Rimuru Bonder to the Milim Clock Kick.
Alright, so technically, if you guys do want to kind of play it by the book,
Okay,
if you're in a big tournament...
Alright, I will search Geld,
yeah,
and then I will stock...
Just in case your opponent tries to rule shark you, you search 2 already. You pass the opportunity to stop the first one. This is technically how it works.
And then I'll search Rimuru, and then I'll stock Hakuro.
Yeah, so every copy will search 1, stock 1, and search 1, stock 1. For obviously simplicity's sake, it's a lot easier for us just to search all of our targets because it doesn't really matter which order you go through them.
The only time it does matter
is if you refresh.
If you would refresh. So like let's say you have 3 cards in deck, it would go search, stock, search, stock, search, and then because you refresh immediately, you miss the stock for the third one.
Right.
Unless you were to like level up. Yeah. Which I have done that before. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. We'll go into our attacks. Start with the Mjurran for 2, 2.
1, 2, level. Alrighty. Let's just get this card that does nothing here.
Alright.
Out. Oh, actually, you know... Yeah, we'll get that out. I considered leveling one of my Brainstormers or the Escanor because of the Soul Trigger, but I don't think we're in a position to do that.
Alright, front with the second Mjurran.
Yeah.
For 2 again.
1, 2. 2's good.
And then direct with Mjurran for 3.
1, 2, cancel.
Okay.
Alright. So he has his big setup now. And it is our job to do something about that.
Mm-hmm.
We are short of cards, so we do need to clock. Let's go with an Elaine. And we really want to draw StockSoul. We did not. Well, this is a struggle. Yeah, we're not quite at the position where we can just keep brainstorming Elaine. I do have 3 Elizabeth StockSouls in my deck, so I really feel like I'm kind of forced into that line.
Where you brainstorm here?
Yeah. Alternatively, I could just try to get more cards through Elizabeth Brainstorm, push up the Elaine, play a front 500, and contest both your Mjurrans. But I'm not pushing any soul damage there. I feel like I'm a bit on the clock because I don't have a stock swap in this deck, and you might just be able to just compress forever. If I double contest, you're just gonna... It basically just makes you spend 3 stock on your guild counter. But that's 3 stock that you would not otherwise have as compression. I think more than anything, I just really want to push damage.
So you're thinking use your lane to brainstorm?
Yeah,
line?
I think I have to go for the more high roll line. But it is more costly because I am already working with a limited amount of hand. We must do what must be done though, so let's start with the guild thinner, and that's what we're going to sacrifice here. Play reveal top if it's a character, marker it, and then we'll brainstorm to kill the guild thinner. This allows us a technically 5-card brainstorm. Hit 1, top check.
So how many cards in decks? So it's like what you could do here is like if after the brainstorm you could end with 5 cards and then you could use it on
again.
Elizabeth brainstorm, yeah.
Mm-hmm. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 in the waiting room. 5, 6. 5 mil 4. Okay, I'm actually gonna stop at 1 because I found my StockSoul on the first card.
Oh, so now
now I just want to brainstorm because if I brainstorm now, I could activate multiple Elizabeth climax combos and still have a waiting to establish with.
Yeah, because if you went with the line that I said earlier and you left yourself with 1 in deck after this brainstorm, if you played combo, you would mill 1 and not salvage anything.
Yes.
Right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Alright, so let's brainstorm. And we hit 1.
Hit 1, okay.
And 1's good enough.
So now you can get a second brainstorm, you can use 2 copies of climax combo, and you can push a little bit more damage.
Alright, so the card I wanted to find here was the Elizabeth Global PR. So I'm considering this. Alternatively, I would just go with maybe like an Escanor. At this point, since I've committed to double brainstorm, and then trying to go for as much plussing as possible, the line where I play double Dian alongside a Global 500 is out the window now. I'm just not going to bother with that. So I think
You just get a brainstorm here?
we'll just get... No, I do have double brainstorm ready, so we'll get...
okay.
Yeah, we'll get something else. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think we'll just go for an endgame piece.
Merlin, okay.
Yeah, because we do need to prep up double Merlin. Make him have that double Shuna setup. If he doesn't, then I will be able to bounce his 2-1 and then bounce one of his front rows so I can get direct on Escanor. The level 3 is a lot harder to salvage than level 0. I'm just going to grab my level 0s through the Climax combo. Alright, let's play some guys.
Those are definitely guys.
These are some of the guys of all time. Okay.
So even so if you don't have any global 500 or front 500, then this just can't contest the 1200,
Correct,
right?
because my Diane gets 15 on play, 6k against a level 2. She's only 12 to your 12-5, so we're just gonna kill that Millam here.
She's finally going to die.
Um,
So ideally, So you're the 6 in here, 1 in hand. So ideally, like you mill a climax off.
Ideally, I mill that last climax there.
Okay.
Alright, so StockSoul. We can activate either one at the same time. So we're going to mill first. Salvage a level 0.
Nice.
Grab Escanor. Second mill. Salvage level 0. This one, I'm going to be a bit more conservative and go with... Let's go with King Climax Swapper, just in case.
Okay, can I check waiting room, please?
Yep.
How many Escanors are in here? There's 1. There's 1. How many cards again?
5. I have 5 in hand.
Okay, so Mjurran plus the 2 discard, plus the 2 salvages, plus like at least 1 Escanor. Okay, and then
StockSoul.
Yeah.
1 level 1 or lower this time. So let's grab... Put Escanor in here.
Would you rather put like a Diane level 2 killer or?
We can So the idea is that if I do want to go for, I guess I already have one here, so it wouldn't matter. But the idea I had in my head was I could play my level 3s and then brainstorm to salvage this. I could probably use that logic for something else, given that I already do have 1 copy here. There really isn't anything else I want to... Yeah, let's just put this here.
Okay.
This should not be of much significance. All right, let's go. Front. 4-2.
1. Cancel.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes.
Alrighty, maybe I can get a nice crit here and stick a 4.
Or you can not.
He should not have that many left. I think he has like 3 left.
4 here.
1 in hand. Alright, so 3 left, probably.
3 sounds all right.
Yeah. Refresh point. Front. 4-2.
1, 2. Okay.
Stop it. Front. 2.
Okay, take 2.
Alrighty. Here we go.
All right, let's stand and draw. All right, I'm going to 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2. So I only need to get 1 here. Do I clock? I don't need a clock. I can just -1, right? Because I'm gonna be getting cards back. So I have 9 cards in deck. I want to go through all 9 this turn.
I feel like the only reason why you might want to clock here is just to know your deck.
Yeah, but I have other methods to do so.
Yeah, so we don't need to clock here, right?
So I'm gonna start with. Actually, wait, hold on. Order matters. Yeah, so we'll play the Mjurran level 0. I can hand a stock. So I'll hand a stock, and then I'm going to pay 1 sack. We're going to go through these. And then I'm going to take the memory kit counter. This is another piece of our anti-Escanor Exodia. Yeah. So the idea being that if you have 2 Shunas, they can't bounce you, but also because the Shunas and you have like so much global power, they're in range for memory kicks.
Yeah. And then Escanor does need a full board to activate his effect.
All right, next we'll follow up with a Rimuru level 0. Look at the top part of our deck. We'll add this hand and discard it because we don't really need it in this matchup. Now we have 4 cards in deck, and we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 climaxes in waiting room. So we have 1 in deck, so I'm going to use a brainstorm here. And it's going to guaranteed hit 1. I have to take refresh point first. So I'm refreshing the 6 other than 1 of this and 1 Mjurran. So take refresh point, and then I will search. Oh, now we have a Millim that we can grab later off of our Bonder. We'll grab this. We don't even need to do that yet, I think.
Unless you wanted to play it this turn, because otherwise you could just Mjurran it, right?
Yeah. I think we'll just do that. I don't need to shuffle my deck. I'm going to go back in.
Yep.
I'm going to play over this. And we will just play our 1k1.
Yep.
So I will activate triple combo. I'm going to grab the second Shuna, another Mjurran, because you can actually do a double Shuna, double Mjurran board where
2 back row brainstorms, 2 front row Shunas, and with the memory counter, you're always going to go out over Escanor range.
Yeah, because if you do it this way, like if you do I'll just show as an example, double Shuna, double Mjurran, then these are both global 1k, and then these are global 1k to each other, so they're 9k. If you did it this way, then if he has a front 500 or a global 500, such as Elizabeth PR or Hauser Helmet, then he can actually swing over one out of memory kit counter range. So I'm going to grab those 2. And I'll grab stock swap.
Okay.
And then
Yeah, that's basically my last win condition is
and
compressing. But,
not dying.
Luckily, Slime does have an answer to that too.
All right, so we're gonna do a Millen Chaser. We'll do Soe. We don't really need the level swap anymore; it's all guaranteed. And then the last one, it's between Rimuru and the Yeoman Mjurran. The Rimuru has good utility, but the Yeoman is also a level 1, and we actually do want to have higher level characters remaining in our deck for when we use the Benimaru level 3. So I am... how's the concentration looking right now? And we don't have too many high level cards. I think we're just going to put the Rimuru.
Yeah, I think you have all the resources you need. We're just going to try to have a better Benimaru burn 2 instead of just the burn 1.
Yeah, so we just want to optimize our endgame at this point.
Alright. Things are getting quite out of control here.
That is how this deck can tend to be sometimes.
Yeah.
Alright, so we'll go with the front first for 2. 2.
Okay. 1. Cancel.
Then a direct for 4.
Shall we salvage?
I don't really need this, so I'm gonna not salvage.
Okay. 1. Cancel.
And then the third one, and again, no salvage.
Alright. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Level. 7 cards, and we need red for our bouncer. Alright.
I'm overhand by 1, so let's get rid of something. I'll get rid of the Geld counter here, since we have the memory kit counter, and honestly, our Mjurrans have more or less done their job.
Exactly. Draw for turn. Alright. What is our way to win? If we can get double Merlin and a choice, we will have enough resources to double Escanor, double Merlin, I think. I have 9 stock, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 9 stock. This is basically going to be my last turn that I can bounce anything at all before he either kills me or sets up the Shuna, so that his entire board is hexproof. We know that he has the memory kit counter. Because he has that, my Escanor, at least the first one, is going to be forced to side. So I could either play it lame and just try to survive another turn, or I just go for it now. And especially since we know that he triggered 2, and he has 2 in waiting room, 2-4 is in range of Escanor kill. So I think I'm going to try to go for the kill by clocking this turn. Clock Escanor, draw 2. Okay. What is our order of operation? So we have 1 stock that we can work with here. Because the other 4 stock, the other 8 stock we need for 4 level 3s. That 1 stock is either going to be used for the King Climax Swapper or an Elizabeth Brainstorm. I think since our line always involves trying to find the Climax here, we're going to start with an Elaine. So on play, I'm going to activate her top check effect first. Add to hand discard. And then we'll discard a Britannia to draw a card. Hopefully this is a choice. It is not, so next we'll go with the Brainstorm. Sack the Elaine to mill 4. Hit 1 and top check 3. Alright, so we found the choice. Now we have to see if we want to go further. And I think the answer is no, because we have a good amount of 2 souls in there. So we'll stop there. Alright, so now we have 2 Escanor, 2 Mjurran, the Climax, and 1 level 0 Escanor. So we just need another level 0 Escanor, and then we have full combo. This means we'll just need to brainstorm.
I'm hoping you hit as many climaxes as possible.
I'm hoping I hit exactly 1. That's 2. Alright.
How many are you out now?
I am out 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. With 2 choice out.
2 choice in waiting room?
2 choice in waiting room.
So there's 1 StockSoul left.
Yeah.
Okay.
Alrighty, so we hit 2. We'll grab, obviously, 1 of this. And everything else, we're just pretty set on. So, I don't think this really matters. Let's grab a non-soul trigger. We want to keep this because there's a 2 soul here. So we don't want to brainstorm into a new deck. Is there any... I could probably play this. Alright, so we'll grab these. And let's start blasting. Mjurran, on play, she has a couple of fucks, but we're going to choose to bounce. We'll bounce the only thing that is targetable on Randall's board. Now that his board is no longer hexproof, we'll play another Mjurran, and then we'll bounce one of the Mjurrans. And then we'll play a King Climax Swapper just to verify the top 2 cards of our deck. He does have on-play Top Check 2 rearrange, thus giving us perfect information on our triggers.
Because if the StockSoul's not in the first 2, then it's the last one.
Alrighty, so given this information, how do we want to play this? Okay, we'll do it like that. And we'll actually no. Yeah. We'll play over the king with Elaine. On play reveal top, add to hand discard. So we'll get rid of that non-trigger. And then we'll play our Escanors. On play heal. And we probably don't... I would probably rather have the Mjurran live in case I need a 2 soul beater next turn.
This does mean you have to side with a Mjurran, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, no, because I could just direct and then front. And
But you can't pay costs.
Oh, yes, this is correct.
So you actually have
actually...
Oh, we are now realizing this.
We are now realizing this. Okay, that was awkward. Okay, I done goofed. Okay, yeah. I definitely failed to...
Remember that it costs 1 on attack?
Remember that it costs 1 on attack.
Okay.
Alrighty, we'll just go with it. It is what it is.
All things considered, like,
yeah,
this is the blueprint,
yeah,
right?
This is the blueprint. The big mistake I made was I shouldn't have played this. I could have just sided with the Mjurran. Because in my head I was like, alright, I'm going to just direct with Escanor first. It is what it is, though. We're going to side here since that Mjurran is still 10-5. He has 2 or more other Demon Continent. Siding here for...
Oh, I see what happened.
I definitely made a boo-boo.
Okay. Alright, so this is for 3.
Yeah.
Okay. So I really want to cancel... When you are against Escanor, the thing you want to cancel the most is the
non-Escanor.
The non-Escanor.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Alright, so, well, that 2 soul trigger still put in work.
Alright.
Alright. This is just the same thing then. So now we're going to direct, pay 1, discard an Escanor, and then trigger. This is going to be 1 4 times.
1, cancel. 2, cancel. 3.
Oh my, you are definitely alive.
Okay. I was gonna say, like, right now, so you're representing 7 1s, so I need to cancel... Right now, I just needed to cancel 1, but if I cancel 2 more, then you can't even trigger StockSoul for lethal, and then I... Okay.
Alright, how many climaxes out? 7?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
Man, maybe I just don't even pay cost for this one. Maybe this will just stick. Who knows? How many cards left in your deck?
Enough for me to take 6, draw and heal. Or take 5, draw and heal.
Yeah.
So maybe you just don't...
Maybe I just don't pay cost.
Maybe you just don't pay cost, yeah.
Alright, refresh. Yeah, we'll just front here. 4 3.
And then I'm just not even gonna memory kick
Yeah.
counter. Like I'm not using this Mjurran next turn. I'm just gonna be playing new stuff. So for 3. 1, 2, 3. Cancels anyway. Okay.
Here we go.
All right, it's time to use my stock. Draw. All right, let's see. So I'm out all my climaxes, so I can confirm that I'm going to hit a, what's it called? A clock shoot? Or a top check burn off my my Millum. Do I want to clock? I only have 2 actual finisher cards right now. Where are my other finishers? There's 2 Benimarus here. There's Millum here. I don't think I triggered a Millum. I think there's a Millum in my deck. I'll clock this Mjurran that you so graciously gave me. Okay. We'll start by playing the Rimuru Bonder. So he has the on-play discard Bond to the Millum. Additionally, on play, I get to top check 2 and rearrange. So there we see there's the level 3 that I was talking about earlier. So we'll go ahead and put that on the bottom so that we can use that with the Benimaru. We'll play our Millum. On play, we reveal top. If it's a Demon Continent character, burn 1.
Burn 1. Cancel. Oh boy.
And then the mandatory effect of the Rimuru, whenever I play this Millum, this must go to stock, and then the Millum that I played gets plus 1500 power until end of turn. I'll follow up with Benimaru. On play, heal 1. We might as well heal again. We'll play our Shuna. And then when she's placed, if I have another character, she gets plus 2000 cross turn. And we'll just finish the board with our 2-1 Shuna again. So here, what we're going to do is we're going to attack with the Shuna first to trigger this. We'll attack with the Benimaru for the second card, which is the second Millum clock kick. And then for the third attack, we can attack with the Millum, and then we can clock kick one of his characters.
Yeah, so it's going to be swinging for 2, going to 3/3, and then he's going to burn me for 4. It's going to hurt quite a bit.
And then if you cancel the 4, it's still a swing for 3, and then if you take the 3, then clock kick for game. Okay. And we're all out 8, and we have everything. Everything's good. All right. Let's go with the front attack here for 2.
Cancel.
And then we will front attack here. We'll use the effect, pay 1, discard a Demon Continent character.
Yeah, as long as you have all 3 colors in your level zone. That's why colors are so important in this particular build. It's because of the Benimaru level 3.
Which is also the reason that we do include the Soe. It's not included in every list, but this is a nice insurance piece.
Yeah.
It allows you to level swap for free. So his effect says, on attack, pay 1, discard a Demon Continent, reveal the top card of the deck, and then burn equal to its level +1, so it's like a Musashi, but you reveal.
Yeah.
So burn 4.
1, 2, 3, 4. Cancel.
Okay.
And
this is for 3.
1, 2, 3. Cancel. I'm alive.
He's alive. And then I refresh now.
Yep. All right. So we still got some game.
We are still here.
What's really annoying is that Millum
Is cross turn.
is cross turn. Millum does also get 1000 every time one of his other characters attacks, so she is quite a chunky girl right now. 11, 12, 13, 14, 15k.
Yeah. So we'll front here for 3.
1, 2, 3. 3's good.
And I will be using the effect, paying 3 on reverse to clock kick your Escanor.
Yeah, reversed and clock shoot. Look at all these Escanors in my clock.
All right, go ahead.
Alright, stand and draw. Okay, well, thankfully, we're going to assume that this is final turn, and I'm still going to clock despite the fact that he has a clock shooter because I can just attack with him last. If he doesn't die, I'm probably dead anyway, so there's really no point in not clocking. I'm going to try to find a climax. Alright. Interesting here. We do have several lines of play. The first line is we can just brainstorm. How are we getting enough damage?
Trigger them StockSouls.
Alrighty. So I could either brainstorm, try to find my level 0 Elaine again, so that I could try to find a climax.
kind of a roundabout way. Or I could just play my Meliodas level 1, and that can allow me to just search for the triggers. They're not mutually exclusive either, so I could actually just do both. And then my last line of play is I could play the Mjurran healer to salvage something, but there's really nothing in here that I want to salvage. And I can't bounce anything on this board again because the 2-1, except the 2-1, but there's really no point in bouncing that particular card.
So if you wanted to do both, you would play the Meliodas first, right, to thin out the deck by 1 card?
Yeah. I think either way, I will be attacking with Meliodas since, like, double Meliodas is probably always in the books for his ability to just find triggers. So let's go with that first. We'll play Meliodas, discard...
Well, you probably discard the Mjurran then, right? Because you won't have enough stock for it.
Yeah. Because I'm just gonna push this stuff and then this will attack.
Yeah.
Right. So search. Alright, so the line here that can potentially get me more damage output is Brainstorm, Salvage, hit, a card that can get me a Climax. So that would be the level 0 Elaine Brainstorm, the level 0 Elaine Top Checker, and we'll go from there.
So you're gonna, how are you gonna get the Elaine Brainstorm? You're gonna brainstorm to try to get Elaine Brainstorm?
Mm-hmm.
So with 5 Climax out, you're gonna try to Elizabeth Brainstorm, mill a Climax and Elaine Brainstorm, and then Elaine Brainstorm, and then mill
and then hit
the
that
7th
last climax,
and then draw the 8th Climax.
Yeah. You gotta get the out. Because otherwise my final setup is basically just this, always, right?
Yeah.
So you might as well. Brainstorm. And you never know, I could go for the Elaine Top Checker. That could also draw me a Climax. Or I could just mill nothing. Okay, let's go.
It's okay. Now
hey, that's more triggers
you
for
can
me.
trigger the Climax. How many choice are you out?
We're out 3 choice, so there's 3 left. Alright.
Alright. Oh no.
Okay. Front.
Yes.
2.
Yes.
Front. Make sure we attack with this one first. On attack, if I have another copy, like we've done all game. 3.
Oh my god.
Oh
no.
Oh. We're getting in there. Front. Top check. That's not a trigger. Front for 1.
Cancel.
No!
Okay, I actually misplayed. I definitely misplayed. What I should have done was I should have memory kick countered here so you can't...
Oh, true.
Yeah.
Because I needed another copy to activate his effect.
Yeah. Okay, never punished.
Okay. Alright, you still gotta do your thing though. You gotta kill me properly.
Pay 3, clock kick.
Alright, I'm dead. Not often that you get to win on your opponent's turn, but that's the power of that cross-turn clock kick.
Yeah, that was a game. Like, like from your position, you managed to like really bring a lot back.
Yeah.
For that endgame.
The kind of like, I wouldn't say gamble because I figured that was the only way I could get back in the game, but the quote-unquote gamble of using the Elaine Brainstorm aggressively to try to find a StockSoul, even though it minuses me every time. I think finding even just that one StockSoul really put me back on course for trying to kill you.
This is bottom 3. Okay, well, I basically got to show off almost everything that I wanted to in this deck as well, barring like the 1 copy of the 3/2 Xion.
And even like the counters themselves, even though you didn't get to actually use them, we described the threat of them, and that limited my plays by quite a bit, right? We know that he searched out the 2/1 memory kick counter, so I was forced to side with the Mjurran here, and also just bounce a lot because otherwise my Escanor couldn't get reverses. The fact that you got that back row setup means that my level 1s had a very difficult time challenging your 2/1s, so I basically just didn't even go for it. When you on your second turn, you went for another set of those 2/1s. It worked my decision to just go for the kill that turn because I recognized that there was basically no time left for me to be able to kill you with Escanor. So the deck has a lot of answers to a lot of the potential situations that decks can bring up. It has a really big wall. It's hexproof. It has a stock swap. That threat of stock swap also contribute to my factor of like, I'm just gonna blow my entire load now. If I just save my cards, save my stock, he's gonna stock swap me. I'm dead.
Yeah, and there are like there is like one. Speaking of stock swap, there is like one more card. We will have gone over it in the actual deck profile video, but we don't actually have it in the deck itself. Is a card that when it first came out was like kind of a meme, which is Ifrit. I think that Ifrit is a really decent consideration right now. The ability to do a stock swap into an Ifrit while still at level 2, I think presents a very great threat, especially considering that the Mjurran deck is one that wants to sit at level 2, continuously spam the climax combo, continuously compress, and continuously cancel. And so if your opponent, whether like they just can't hit you to 3 or they just decide not to hit you to 3, I think Ifrit plus stock swap is also a really good consideration. It gives the deck a lot of lethal potential. Even past what it already has, like it already has these non-climax combo finishers at level 3, you could potentially incorporate a non-climax finisher at level 2.
And I do think that you definitely have a lot of kind of like options if you did want to slot that one slot in, especially since the deck has so much selectivity. You could just grab it in the matchups where you know you need it pretty easily.
Yeah.
Like maybe cut like the 3/2 Xian or maybe one of the level 1s, or if you don't like one of the counters, but nope, to each your own.
There's like a lot of different ways to play the level 3 game, which I think is a really cool part about this particular deck. One thing that I do want to bring up actually is that I think it's very interesting that this is actually something that we theorized all the way back when Slime 3 first came out.
In Japanese, right?
Yeah, in Japanese. Yeah, I think it's very interesting that there is a dynamic with Tensura with a deck that Japanese players have never had to compete against.
Given that this particular matchup is not something that they would ever face.
Right. So, but yeah, going into this game plan where you have multiple Shunas, multiple Mjurran, specifically with Memory Kit counter to counter Escanor, is definitely a very interesting new mechanic that is added to specifically the English version of Tensura 3, and is definitely a setup that you're going to want to have in your back pocket when you go into the SDS matchups.
And I think one of the reasons why this particular matchup puts Tensura in a much better position competitively, if you're trying to consider the whole field, is because you're not actually going out of your way to build around Seven Deadly. Your natural build and natural ratios already allows you to play around the Escanor with this double set. These are already cards that you want to play at the minimum, I feel. 2 of this and like some number of this.
Yeah.
Normally people will probably play at least 2, right? So you can always go for that line if you are in the matchup. And if you get that, like there's literally nothing that Escanor can do. Like your entire board being hexproof, everything is over counter range. The Escanor deck would have to have some pretty dank tech in terms of maybe like some power boosts on the Escanors. So maybe that is the next step in evolution if these devoted Seven Deadly Sins Escanor players want to adapt, to the new meta, to something that is a big threat to the endgame. Maybe we see something like on-play power boost back again, so that the Escanor can comfortably get out of counter range.
Yeah, that's another thing that I think is really interesting about SDS being an English original, is that we get to experience the innovation firsthand. We get to experience it in real time, and it's not like looking back at what Japan did to innovate. Things like Kaguya door build to counter ours.
And it's super fun because we've already seen quite a bit of it, right? Initially, everyone was on basically all the 2/1 Meliodas, which was super strong. Then Sword Art came out. Sword Art came out, and basically people just stopped playing the 2/1 because like that card can't resolve anymore. That's one example of the meta adapting. Seven Deadly Sins players also starting to put in level 2 killers, as is with a lot of other just regular decks to counter Atlas, to counter Mjurran. So constant evolution, and like you said, it's very fun to see because this is an English original set. And so we have to kind of make these up ourselves. Alright, so hopefully that gave you guys a good idea of what this matchup looks like. We did showcase, I think, everything that we wanted to see for this particular matchup. We even got to both our level 3 games, which a lot of times doesn't really happen given the power level of a lot of these new level 3 games are just so explosive, but we did get to see it here. Coming up, we will have more content for you guys from Slime 3, a lot of different decks, and we will feature the Mjurran deck again. So stick around and stay tuned, and until then, this has been Mike and Randall on the Tressa's Collectibles channel, and we'll see you guys in the next one.
Alright, bye guys.
Bye.